techniques that get you back on your feet faster. Let Cleveland's orthopedic experts help you live your best life. Call 423-624-2696 or go to sportmed.com to book your visit now.
Hey, this is Pastor James from Mount Olive Ministries, and I'd like to invite you and your family to come and experience what God is doing at Mount Olive. You know, oftentimes people ask me what they might expect when they attend our church. Well, let me tell you, when you arrive on our campus, whether it's been a while since you've been in church or this is your first time visiting, you'll receive a warm welcome. We want you to know that we are glad you're here. As we enter into a time of worship, you'll discover that we're a group of people passionate about worship. We strive to create an environment that allows us to engage and encounter the presence of God. And then as we open up the Bible, we learn and grow together as God speaks to us both individually and corporately. So again, whether it's been a few months or maybe even a few years since you've been to church, we want you to know that you are welcome here. And if by some chance you're unable to attend in person, you can still worship with us online through our Facebook page by searching Mount Olive Ministries. We meet every Sunday at 11 a.m. Mount Olive is located at 3522 Harrison Pike. We hope to see you and your family soon.
Hey, Andy Morris here. Join me along with my co-host on The Drive, presented by Hardees, weekdays at 5 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Cleveland and Bradley County's local sports show, weekdays at 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no style. Got a thirst for killing. Think about it.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Friday, fellas, we made it. We survived the trade deadline yesterday. So much going on there. We're going to dive into that here in a little bit. But first, we've got some special guests here. Jim, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Yeah, speaking of surviving, I just want to know.
There you go, Jim.
Okay. Speaking of surviving, I just want to know if you guys could survive rowing a canoe 102 miles.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
No way.
I'll tell you what, we've got some young people here that did do that. Troop number 10 Scouts from Cleveland here recently completed a grueling but exciting 102-mile river canoe trek, which began at Big Creek Access on the Ocoee River in Polk County and ended at the Browns Ferry Marina on the Tennessee River. So I've got a couple girls in here, and maybe there's a couple more. Would you guys want to introduce yourself? Make sure you get up to the microphone when you talk.
I'm Zoe Heyer. I'm Abby Ross.
Okay.
So Zoe and Abby.
So tell us a little bit about this really cool, I don't know if you wanted to call it an adventure, but it took multiple days. So let me kind of go over exactly what where we did this. We went from the Ocoee River, which obviously empties into the Hiwassee River, which ends up into the Tennessee River, and you guys did this. You did like 18 miles on day number 1. You did 15 and a half miles on day 2, 12 miles on day 3, 14 and a half miles on day 4, 21 miles on day 5, 21 miles on day 6 for 102 miles.
Listen, I'm already tired just listening to Jim talk about this trip. The amount each day, that's wild. That is awesome, though.
So tell us how this all came about.
It was for our 100-year anniversary.
Awesome. That's so cool. What was your favorite part about the trip? I'm sure there was a lot of beautiful sights and things. What was your favorite part about the trip that you got to go on?
My favorite part was probably seeing people flip and getting flipped.
Hey, that's awesome. What's your name, buddy?
Bentley.
Bentley.
Now, you guys did go through the rapids, correct? Is that where the flipping occurred when you went down the rapids?
There wasn't a lot of rapids.
Okay.
There was one wave that about flipped all of us.
That's
It was
awesome.
on the Tennessee River with all the boats.
Now I've been down the Iroquois River, and we do this in these rafts of one of these outfitters. What kind of, I guess, boats did you guys use?
We used canoes.
Just a regular hard canoes?
You went a little old school, huh? Nothing wrong with that.
That is so cool. I can't imagine. I didn't even know that was a thing, that you guys could do something like that. Now, tell us, what part of it did you enjoy the most? Was it the Iroquois River, the Hiwassee River, or the Tennessee River? Which waterway did you enjoy the most?
I like the Iroquois the most.
Yeah. So, and you guys went all the way down the Iroquois. You went into Parksville Lake. And then you had to get out and take your raft down to where the at the bottom of the dam and re-put it into the water there. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you guys go through the locks on the Tennessee River? You didn't. So you had, at that point, you had to get out and take the boats down to the bottom of the dam again. I was thinking that was probably the case, but I wanted to make sure. So was this something that, how long did it take to plan all this out? Tell us a little bit about that.
We started planning probably a year beforehand. We knew we wanted to do this trip because it was a historical trip for our troop. However, the last time it was done was probably in the 60s, and it was just about 20 miles.
Really?
Yeah,
So
we like to do everything bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Sounds that way. That's
Did
great.
you guys like train or anything? Because I'm sitting here, I think about runners that go on long runs. Those are long stretches. 18 miles one day, 21 miles a couple days. Did you guys do any kind of training, or did you just hop on the boat and go?
A lot of people in our troop did a lot of aquatic-based merit badges, and usually we raced down the Hiwassee. We used to have a race, but they canceled that last year.
Okay.
So, what kind of weather did you guys have? Was it sunny? Did y'all ever hit any rain? Did you have any interesting moments as far as weather-wise?
It was mainly sunny, but one day we had to get off the water because there was a big storm.
Oh, yeah.
We were towards the end of it.
Okay, cool. I'll be honest, I would have loved that. I love sitting out and getting. If there's one thing these guys know, I like getting a tan. I like being out on the river.
Listen,
So
he's
nice
not into
sunny-
the hard work part, like maybe the rowing. But he would have been fine sitting on the back of the canoe and just letting you guys do all the work.
I would have been a really good passenger. I would have been a good time for sure. So you said your favorite part was the Ocoee. What about you guys? Was it the Ocoee, Hiwassee, or
My favorite was the Tennessee River.
okay?
I liked the Hiwassee River because it was like pretty chill.
Okay.
I liked the Hiwassee too. The Tennessee was definitely the hardest.
And there was a lot more boats on the Tennessee River,
They
right?
wouldn't like slow down sometimes until the last minute. We would have to wave our paddles, so some parts was kind of scary, but it was fun.
So were there any adults with you guys, or was it how many adult leaders were with you? 4.
4.
And so how many boats did you guys have going?
7.
7. Wow. That's awesome.
That is so cool. And you guys spent the night. Obviously, this took 6 days. So here are the places that they camped. Night 1 at Two Rivers RV Park in Delano. Night 2, Charleston Elementary School in Charleston. Night 3, the Hiwassee Mercantile. I've been there in Georgetown. Night 4, Hedrick's home in Soddy Daisy. And night 5 at Camp Joy in Harrison, Tennessee. So how was the camping? How did you guys like that?
It was relaxing after all of the hard work.
Yeah, it's pretty relaxing.
I mean, honestly, I bet you guys got some good nights of rest after 21 miles of rowing. Like Andy said, that makes me tired just thinking about it. Down there by the Hiwassee River, did you guys ever get in? That's one of my favorite places to go swimming because it's so cold coming off the mountains. Did y'all ever get to take a little break and hop in and swim?
There were a few times we got in the water and splashed around and took breaks.
Okay, cool.
So how many hours on average per day did you guys paddle?
6.
How long?
6.
6 hours a day. Okay. Well, we all wore out. Just
Yeah.
Hey, if you could you one more time pass the microphone to each other and say your names so our listeners know who we're talking to?
Abby Ross, Zoe Heyer,
Bentley Martin.
Jake Rathbone.
Well, I tell you what, I'm so excited to have you guys in here, and I'm so glad to see the scouting is alive and well. And we've got a really good scouting in Bradley County. I know that. I've got several friends of mine that are big time into this, and just to see that this kind of stuff is going on. Listen, you guys will benefit long term by being a part of the scouting. I'll promise you that.
Also, you should be very proud of yourself. So you've done something that, one, I know I couldn't do, but what a lot of people couldn't/wouldn't do. So it was a great accomplishment. We're really proud and glad to have you guys here on the show today.
The only request that I have is next time you guys do this, can you please let us know ahead of time so we can send Jacob with you? You think you guys could handle that?
You think I could come along for like a day ride? I'll help paddle. I'll be useful.
Okay, so you did the 102-mile, paddling down the, I guess, 3 rivers. What's next? What do we got next? What are you going to do to top this? Have you got any big-time plans?
That's a troop leader question right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Troop 10 does high adventure trips every month. We're either hiking or backpacking or canoeing or something like that. The biggest thing that we have coming up quickly is we're having a sailing trip in September, so that'll be at Chickamauga. And we're going to sail on big boats, and they're going to learn on smaller boats. So they're doing that. But next summer, we're going to Sea Base in St. Thomas at the Virgin Islands.
Oh, wow.
Could you tell our listeners how their kids could get involved in troops? If just give some information how that starts, what that process looks like, just in case anybody's interested.
So a lot of our scouts come from Cub Scouts, and we are locally affiliated with a pack that meets in downtown Cleveland, and that is Pack 3217. So if you're from kindergarten to 5th grade, that's where you would go. But Troop 10. We meet on Monday nights, and it's for everybody, male and female, after age 11. So starting at age 11. We meet on Monday nights at 7 o'clock at the Troop 10 Scout House, and it technically doesn't have an address, but it's affiliated with Broad Street, and it's on the corner of Central and Spring Street. So that's where we are, and anybody that wants to join is welcome to just show up.
Well, I'll tell you what, this has been really eye-opening, and I think it's really neat that you guys were able to accomplish something like this at such a young age. I'll promise you, this is something you'll be able to tell your kids at some point. Say, yeah, when I was your age, we paddled 102 miles from the Ocoee to the Hiwassee to the Tennessee River, and that is just something you guys will have in your memory bank forever.
Yeah, you'll have to make your kids, when they're troops, do 130 miles, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, we sure appreciate you guys coming by. And listen, keep us updated on anything else that we can do to help you promote you guys and scouting in general, for sure.
We'll do it.
So fantastic. Well, thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate it.
So with that, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got a lot to talk about. Major League Baseball trade deadline was yesterday. Got to recap what happened with the Braves on and off the field pertaining to the trade deadline. And a little frustration today, losing another one-run game, all when we come back right here on The Drive on ESPN Cleveland.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardees for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A charbroiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardees. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Rewards. See app for terms.
Hip or knee pain holding you back? There's a new reason to feel hopeful. Dr. Andrew Carlone is now part of the team at Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics in Cleveland. He brings advanced training in total hip and knee replacement, including minimally invasive techniques that get you back on your feet faster. Let Cleveland's orthopedic experts help you live your best life. Call 423-624-2696 or go to sportmed.com to book your visit now.
For a quarter of a century, Mix 1041 has been taking you out to the ball game.
Swanson to first. The Braves are world champions.
Since 2000, Mix 1041 has been the home of the Atlanta Braves, and we're celebrating by giving away tickets to Atlanta Braves games all summer long. Listen for your chance to call or text to qualify. You can also register at the Mix socials on Facebook and Instagram. Braves 25 is presented by Cleveland Ford. Honest people, honest deals. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Visit milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Power your day with nutritious Mayfield Dairy Milk. The Avenger superheroes are now featured on Mayfield Dairy Milk. From Hulk to Captain America, unlock super nutrition for your superhero in the dairy aisle. Learn more at MayfieldDairy.com. And, of course, Mayfield, your primary sponsor here on The Drive for all things Atlanta Braves coverage. And listen, first of all, I want to say this. Trade deadline was a lot of fun for a lot of different reasons. If you were an Atlanta Braves fan, probably not so much. A whole lot didn't happen. But my thing is, and I'm going to defend Alex Anthopoulos here in a minute, because everything I've seen on the Facebook groups, the Instagram post has been nothing but pure hate. And if you're this naive of a Braves fan to realize, going back to the offseason, before spring training, if you noticed anything outside of the Jerickson Profar move, not a lot really happened. Didn't add to your team a whole lot. That right there was a big red flag to a lot of people that keep up with Atlanta Braves baseball. Something's going on. Fried's not coming back. We've talked about all this on this show. Mm-hmm. That right there should have been the smoke signal. Speaking of the troops, you got to learn how to send out those smoke signals, right?
Exactly.
But that should have been the smoke signal right there to everybody that, listen, this team's not going to do a whole lot to get better this year. They're rolling with what they got, and we're at a point now, obviously, where we made some moves just because we need some arms, because our arms are literally falling off. Just like in Dumb and Dumber, our pets' heads are falling off. Our arms are falling off in the Atlanta Braves pitching rotation in the bullpen. So you're trying to add those pieces just to get to the finish line because you have to. You don't want to ruin those young pitchers. But I've seen more backlash on the lack of moves by the Braves. And so this is my question in defense of Alex Anthopoulos. Why in the world would I trade Marcell Ozuna and get nothing in return, or a guy that I know is never going to contribute, when I can just finish the season with a guy who's a leader and loved in the clubhouse, keep the morale up? We got a big game coming up at the Speedway. Why would I trade Raisel Iglesias, who's had a career worst year? A lot of teams probably weren't very interested in him. Obviously, Marcell Ozuna could block the trades, but why get rid of Iglesias when you're struggling to have experienced arms in your bullpen anyway, and you're not going to get anything in return? Everyone's freaking out. I'm not going to name the podcast, but I've watched a guy who thinks he knows what he's talking about go off on how Alex Anthopoulos is a clown The guy won us a World Series a couple of years ago. I get he had some inherited players, some good ones, but he made the moves to go get Jock Peterson. He made the moves to go get Eddie Rosario. He made the move to go get Jorge Soler, who had a huge home run in the World Series. All these pieces, he went out and the guy's had success everywhere he's been as a GM. Toronto, now Atlanta. He's been good. Clearly, this is much higher than him. The Braves are not spending money.
Yeah, I don't think it's an AA issue as much as I think it is an ownership issue and the lack of giving him the resource. Because AA's a winner. He wants to win. He strives to win. He's everywhere he's been. He's found a way to win. To me, this is a Liberty Media deal. You make tons and tons of money, yet you're refusing to spend it. I'm in the camp with you. The only thing, Marcell Ozuna has the ability to. We don't know what we could have gotten from him, what teams were offering, but from what it sounds like, he blocked the ones that he didn't want to go to, and those were the ones that AA probably thought that he could get some value back for.
Here's my thing. You don't make a trade for the sake of making a trade.
Yes.
You want to make a trade where you feel like you win the trade, okay? And apparently the offers that were out there, and we don't know what was out there. We'll never know those. But apparently AA thought, you know what, we're going to be worse off. Would you rather be today a fan of the Atlanta Braves and you stayed status quo, or would you rather be a fan of the Minnesota Twins, who everyone says they just got decimated?
Oh, listen, they had 11. Going to the Minnesota Twins for a second, they traded 11 major league players. This is a completely different clubhouse in Minnesota. Yeah. Obviously, they were dealing with some injuries, not having the year. And I get you can do that in certain circumstances, but the Braves could easily contend next season.
Absolutely.
If you can stay healthy, which that's asking a lot for a Braves team here in the past 5 years, staying healthy. But if you can stay healthy, you've got guys under control. One of the names that everyone's so irritated that didn't get traded is Sean. We got Drake Baldwin. We should have traded Sean Murphy. Why, when you're going to lose your DH and Marcell Ozuna, would you get rid of Sean Murphy? When you've got Sean Murphy under control with a club option, meaning the Braves can decide if they want to keep him in 2029, you've got control of that guy through 2029. What return do you think you're going to get in a year where he came back from an injury? He started kind of hot, then kind of cooled, then kind of got hot. It's not been a career year for him. It's not been a bad year either. But why would you trade Sean Murphy at probably a point where his market isn't as high as it was when you got him on a steal of a trade with the Oakland A's at the time? People are wanting to be mad just because we're having a rough season and we didn't make any crazy trades to add to this team. What this tells me is that the Braves are playing the long game. They're going to have to add starting pitching. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to have to add the starting pitching. They're going to wait till the free agent market's out there where Alex can do what he's good at and negotiate contracts. He's good. Players' agents don't really like a lot of GMs. Agents love Alex Anthopoulos. They work great. He understands their job. They understand his. He's never had a problem with that outside of these Freddie Freeman, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried massive deals where you're going and making a career payday. So to close this vent that I've got going here, get off of Alex Anthopoulos' back. Alex Anthopoulos is back. If you think he's a clown, maybe you need to look in the mirror and take the red nose off yourself. Because I am telling you right now, the guy likes to do stuff. He likes to make moves. He's being handcuffed by Liberty Media. He's being handcuffed, and they're playing a long game. They've bought some property. You got to look deeper. Use the Google machine. Look a little bit deeper, and you'll understand this isn't going to be any type of year for the Braves. You want to finish strong. You want to finish with a good atmosphere in that clubhouse because you've got a lot of guys, a lot of players under control for the foreseeable future, 26, 27, 28, 29. You've got the bulk of these guys who did not have career years this year. They had their career worst years. It's kind of the perfect storm. Be patient.
This is one thing that really bugs me about fans in general. And as a coach, like when people question decision making, I genuinely want people to ask themselves, Do you think like he wants to lose? Like, do you think that is his goal? Like, his job is to make the Braves better.
It's like a high school coach not playing your baby. Do you think he's not playing him because he doesn't like your baby? No, it's because your kid's not the best one.
Yes. So the job at hand is to try to put the best product on the field, and if you're not going to get back what makes the Braves better, if keeping Marcell Ozuna is better for the Braves than trading him for pennies, then I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Yesterday's market was for relief pitchers. Guess what? We don't have any either. People were giving their souls away to teams for relief pitching.
Dylan Lee's name was thrown out there. First of all, the guy's had an insane workload this year. Started off as one of the best relief pitchers in the game. Obviously, in this Cincinnati series, we saw him struggle in that eighth inning.
Didn't everybody struggle in the eighth inning for both teams?
Exactly. So, why would you sell Dylan Lee, a guy who you have under control for the future and is going to be a catalyst in your bullpen? Why sell that guy? People have thrown that name out there. What are you looking for?
Here's my opinion about the DH situation for the Atlanta Braves, and I'll tell you, this is what I think would be the ideal situation for every team, to have a guy who's a catcher as a part-time DH, because that's the one position you can't play 162 games. You can play maybe 100, the other guy plays 62. When one guy's DHing, the other guy's behind the dish, and vice versa. I'd prefer to have a DH who's versatile, who can actually play the field. Right now, where can Marcell Ozuna play defensively?
He can't anymore.
He's a liability.
He is.
I think the Braves have got an absolutely perfect situation at DH if they can keep Murphy and Drake Baldwin. To me, that would be the ideal situation.
And we've got a guy who plays right field who's dealing with yet another injury. By the way, he's a pretty good. Some people, I don't know, a lot of people, I've been told, call him Ronnie Baseball. That guy, if you can plug him in that DH spot and take some wear and tear off those legs, which is the knees, been an issue, the Achilles, the calf, been an issue, the hamstring, been an issue. Give that guy a break every few days. You might prolong his career. You might keep his bat in the lineup. Marcell Ozuna, this is a walk year. If he comes back, it's going to be on a very crazy, friendly team contract, and it might not be a thing that lasts for an entire season. But what I'm saying is he's more than likely going to be an Oakland a Sacramento A, or maybe he signs somewhere where someone thinks they can take a chance on
Minnesota.
Exactly. Somewhere like seriously. That. He'll make a little bit of money, but then it's a perfect scenario, as you said, Jim. So
I'll be honest. I feel like the reason fans are so mad is because they want someone to blame for the season. They want something to blame. You need to take a step back and not forget that we've been contenders since 2016. Since the 2016 season, we have been contenders to make a run in the playoffs just about every year. So, you get kind of spoiled. Years like this happen. Sometimes you get injured. Sometimes you lose those one-run ball games. Sometimes things happen. It's not the Braves' year. It's just not. It hasn't been from the jump. They've been snake bitten, and like you said, for the past 5 years, we've struggled. Why sell
with health? Yes.
Why sell guys that can be beneficial to you for the remainder of the year? And why give? I'm with you. Why give a Sean Murphy away
with no return?
With zero return. You've got two catchers, and in all reality, like you said, in the MLB, you can't do it every day. Those guys that used to catch every single day no longer exist.
The Johnny Benches of the world are a lost. He's a unicorn in today's.
Yeah. That's just you don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
But man, I'm telling you what, and listen, changing the subject by staying on baseball. What an unbelievable game yesterday. I got to say this. When I saw the Braves score 8 runs, I stopped.
Yeah, let's dive into that.
I started watching football. I watched the doggone preseason game from Canton, Ohio, because I thought, well, this game's over.
Yeah, Braves won game 1 of the series with Cincinnati, the game that Jim's referring to, 12-11 in 10 innings. First of all, the fact that this game went in extra innings in itself is crazy. Jim was talking about that 8th inning, and unbelievable. I like to call it the crazy 8s because each team. So the Braves score 8 runs in the 8th to take an 11-3 lead. Bottom of the 8th, you're thinking, You're thinking what Dad Gum over here is thinking. I'm going to turn on a preseason NFL game. The Reds respond and score 8 runs in the 8th inning as well, tying the game back up at 11. And at that point, just to kind of paint the picture here, I was actually watching the game over at my parents' house with them, and we scored the runs. I was like, all right, I'm going to get in the car and turn the radio on and go home and listen to the rest of it. As I'm driving, listen, you want to talk about a passionate Braves fan showing some road rage.
8 straight hits.
Luckily, it was late. There weren't many cars out on the road. But I'm listening to this unfold. And shout out to Ben Ingram, the play-by-play commentator for the Braves. Coming back in from break, going into the 9th, his commentary was perfect. He said, if you're just tuning in and you were here when we had that 11-3 lead, don't be confused. It was an 8-run inning for everybody. We're back tied at 11. The way he handles is so smooth. He's such a good play-by-play guy. But it was unbelievable. And, of course, you end up winning with a ghost runner.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one, man.
We complain about it every time it happens, but the Braves ended up winning 12-11 in 10 innings. Marcell Ozuna had the sac fly that finally got it sealed up for the Braves after that unbelievable 8th inning. And newcomer Carlos Carrasco, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Talking about a guy here, you're having some depth issues at starting pitcher. What a great addition late in the season. Basically, for peanuts, you're getting this guy pitching for you. You're not paying him hardly anything at all. Might be a potential for him to listen. One of Jim Gum's favorite players, Charlie Morton, pull a Charlie Morton, and as an older fella, come get a spring training invite for the Braves.
I'm a big Charlie Morton fan today, by the way. I'm just kidding.
That was funny yesterday.
Hey, I saw a really cool stat. Did not know this until today. Did you know the Reds have not been swept in a series the entire season? Now, they have, more often than not, they don't sweep people also.
That's why they're in the mix, though.
They're in the mix. But I did not know that. They have not been swept in a series the entire year. And I was like, well, of course, they won today 3-2, so the series is tied 1-1 as we're heading to Bristol. And I know that, hey, listen, it is what it is, right?
No, you're exactly right. And listen, Bryce Elder pitched great for the Braves today. 6 2/3, 4 hits, only 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. But when you cannot produce offensively, which is something we've seen from the Braves, you're either scoring a bunch of runs or you're not scoring any.
And another a 1-run game last night, today, and I know you got to be pumped going up to Bristol.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really am. Listen, as soon as we finish the show today, going home, throwing some stuff in the bag, hitting the road.
What's happening at Bristol?
The Speedway Classic.
Boogity, 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 amen.
Hey, man, I'm excited to see what happens on Saturday now. And now that adds to the excitement. We've had 2 1-run games. Hopefully we'll have another game that's, goes to the 9th inning. Listen, it makes it more entertaining. Again, do you know where your seats are? Are they like in the outfield? Do you know about where?
Honestly,
I'm going to be looking for you.
I should have done my research to see exactly where they're at, but I know I'm about 50 rows up, and I'm going to have a great vantage point. I don't know exactly where along the line where we're at, but
we'll take some photos and text.
Definitely.
Them to us,
no doubt about it.
Well,
listen, I'm excited. I have one wish going to this game to experience it, and that it's nobody for the Braves is getting carted off the field. That's my one wish.
And no rain.
Listen, I can do a little rain baseball. I can do a little bit of that.
Well, hey, if you were watching a NASCAR race there, 50 rows up is perfect. You want to be over 20 rows so that you can see them go all the way around the track there at Bristol. So, yeah, you'll have a good vantage point. Have some good seats.
The Speedway Classic.
Boogity, 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 amen.
Well, I'm envious of you going up there, man. I thought about getting tickets, but I didn't, and I'm not going to do it now. It's just a bit.
Yep.
I'm sure you could find some on the secondary market, but
over 85,000 tickets have been sold, so this should break the regular season record for the most attendees of a Major League Baseball game. I'm excited to be a part of it, and also this is a cool little cliff note. This is the first Major League Baseball game ever being played in the state of Tennessee.
Yep, isn't that cool?
And so one thing, they're like, oh, listen, this is kind of opening the door for a team in Nashville. And all I ever say is when that's brought up is Tennessee is Braves country.
Well, you know what? Tennessee was Falcons country at one time, too.
Still a big chunk of it is.
Yeah, but the Titans moved here in 1997 and in Nashville in 1999. Things change, things evolve. I do believe that we'll see a major league team in Nashville and maybe even in Charlotte at some point.
We had a guest come on the show who's pretty dialed in to Nashville sports scene and the financial scene. He said, listen, the money's not there. They can talk about it all they want.
It's not there right now.
They just built Nissan Stadium. Major League Baseball is wanting to expand within the next 2 to 4 years, and it sounds like Salt Lake City is way ahead of the game. It sounds like Charlotte is way ahead of the game. And then another team, another city that's emerging to pick up a team is New Orleans.
Well, I think Montreal should be given another team myself.
They should.
That's my personal opinion. I think Montreal got the shaft when the Nationals left. I don't know. Maybe it happens, maybe not, but it all depends. Listen, you got a lot of billionaires who want to get in sports. And there may not be a guy in Nashville in 2025 right now. That's not to say that somebody can't say, hey, Nashville is a good place, a happening place.
Or a group of investors.
I think I'll build me a privately owned ballpark, and I'll move the Tampa Bay Rays to Nashville, Tennessee. Who knows?
Hey, listen, someone needs to get Steve Hartline involved in this and say, hey, fit the bill. Let's get us a team. Well, you think Steve would jump in on that?
I don't know. I'm still kind of, you know how I'm a conspiracy theorist. You know how I can't win anything here at the station because I work for it. I was up for a free car today. Being teacher of the year, you get to win a car for a year. And as soon as I saw Steve holding that microphone, I said, "There's no way I'm winning."
Hey Jim,
this.
watch out as Jacob swings that arm around to pat himself on the back for being teacher of the year.
Let me give you. You want another option? After the show today, go down to watch the lookouts. They're giving away 6 used cars tonight.
Dude, I love used car night.
It's tonight, and they're giving out not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6. It's kind of like LeBron James when he signed with Miami. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but no, they're giving away 6 used cars. So Rich Mazingo, maybe. Of course, there's a connection.
Hey, listen, we could take one of those clunkers up to Bristol, baby, for the Speedway Classic.
Boogity, 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 amen.
Hey, listen, real quick before we go to break, we're going to transition over to football here in just a second. I saw this post on Facebook, and it says, nothing said September, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in August. Nothing said August or September to me as a kid quite like an NFL game played on a baseball diamond. You remember those days, Jim?
Anaheim Stadium where the Los Angeles Rams played there. Hey, I remember.
Oakland.
Right, but that's
Anaheim, that was. But didn't Oakland also in Miami a pro player?
A lot of ballparks did that back in the day. Cleveland, the Indians did that.
But municipal.
You had lots of games played on the skin part of the infield when baseball and football overlapped, and it never failed. You remember when the Falcons and Braves shared Fulton County? You got the worst bounces in the infield and the outfield after a Falcons game. They did their best to mend that field, but in football, they chew it up.
Yeah, they do.
And the infielders hated it, man, because you'd get the worst bounces, man. But no, you don't see that anymore, man.
Yeah, and listen, every team now has so much money pouring in, except apparently Tampa Bay, the Athletics, the Pirates, and a handful of other teams that act like they can't do anything.
Well, the Braves act like they can't do anything.
Braves too. But the advancements in small details, like I'll go back during the off season when I'm missing baseball or when it's summertime and I'm missing football, I'll get on the old YouTube and go back and watch some old games and things, and just the attention to detail across the board, across college and professional sports, from the uniforms to the fan engagement stuff to the sideline, like everything is so top notch now.
Oh, no.
And the cut of the grass is clean on every surface now.
And they all look like putting greens, man. The playing surfaces are awesome in baseball and football these days.
Well, I mean, you just think about some of these stadiums like Arizona, Vegas, that they're in a dome, but they care so much that they have a rolling track.
It's like a tray.
To where they can roll the field out into the parking lot for it to get sun and water. There's so much technology, but also just like you said, attention to little details that make a difference. If you go look, like when the Titans' new stadium is done, the amount of little things that they're going to put in there that just give that little personal touch and that experience are unreal.
Even the new Erlanger, we're talking AA baseball, Chattanooga. Erlanger Park is going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
It's going to be. Listen, look, like you said, get on YouTube and look at, say, a game from the 70s or 80s. Look, if it's a natural turf field, just look at all the bare spots and worn out areas. You never see that like that.
No.
The fields these days are in immaculate condition. They've got these grounds crew guys are just. It's like a science these days. Back then, it's like, it's good enough. It's good enough. You know, it's crazy how different the playing surfaces are in football and baseball these days, for sure.
Yeah, hey, with that, we're going to take a quick break. Got a lot more football coverage coming up here on The Drive. When we come back, got to throw another giveaway out there, though. So everyone make sure to get your phones ready to text in to the Volunteer Ridipest phone line at 423-749-1013. We're giving away part of our Summer of Fun event, some tickets to Splash Country. Giving them away today. So if you've not already been on it, still an opportunity. It looks like you can use these tickets whenever you've got 2 tickets. All you got to do is text your name and Splash Country to 423-749-1013. Once again, that's our Volunteer Ridipest phone line. And listen, got a lot more coming up when we get back right here on The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit, split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Hip or knee pain holding you back? There's a new reason to feel hopeful. Dr. Andrew Carlone is now part of the team at Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics in Cleveland. He brings advanced training in total hip and knee replacement, including minimally invasive techniques that get you back on your feet faster. Let Cleveland's orthopedic experts help you live your best life. Call 423-624-2696 or go to sportmed.com to book your visit now.
Cleveland Tire Center, locally owned and operated for over 45 years. Cleveland Tire, your one-stop auto care shop in Cleveland. North Lee Highway, where the name says it all.
When it comes to your vascular health, you have a choice. Don't wait weeks for an appointment or settle for less than the best. At the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga, we make it easy. Timely appointments where you're seen in days, not weeks. No referral needed. We're the only vascular practice in the region to accept self-referrals. And we have 6 convenient locations. Expert care, always close to home. Choosing VIC means choosing the regional leaders in vascular care, where experience, convenience, and advanced treatment come together for you. Your health, your choice. Choose VIC. Call today or visit vascularinstituteofchattanooga.com.
Have you seen what happens when a weed eater gets too close to vinyl siding? Ouch! Choose steel siding from Best Buy Metals, available in board and batten and lap siding options. Permanent siding from Best Buy Metals is custom manufactured to the half-inch for a perfect fit. Stop by a showroom or go to bestbuymetalroof.com to learn how you can protect your structure.
From the job site to the showroom, Wholesale Supply has the top brands you trust at the prices that work for your bottom line. With over 30 locations across the Southeast and over 75 years of service, no one supports contractors and communities like we do. Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad bad veins.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Hope everyone out there is having a good Friday. Hey, Duracell is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians $22 to $27 an hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one: medical, dental, vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com. And guys, football for real begins this month. Today's August 1st, so we've got high school football kicking off in a couple weeks. We've got college football kicking off at the end of this month. It's here, boys. It is here.
I tell you what, I'm extremely excited about it. As you said, as you alluded to, high school football here a little bit sooner. Then we're getting right into college. We've already got some NFL stuff going on.
Had a game last night.
Yeah, hard to believe that we're already at that point. But, man, we're going to have so much fun and so much coverage right here on The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. But, listen, I want to say this. Do you remember when Nico Iamaleava left Tennessee because he wasn't being surrounded by good players?
Who?
You remember that?
I don't remember him.
Well, guess what? UCLA's been predicted to be 16th in the Big Ten this year.
They have 18, so they're not dead last.
Listen, 16 is pretty bad, and I just wanted to point that out because he left, one reason, because he wanted to be closer to family.
Quote, unquote.
The second reason, because he wanted it to get paid more. He didn't come out and say that, but that's been said by Daddy. And then he also said he wanted to be surrounded by better players, and Tennessee wasn't doing the job as they made the college football playoff last year. But yet, UCLA, his new home, they're predicted to be 16th in the Big Ten. How embarrassing.
Yep.
Like, just keep your mouth shut.
You remember who was picked to be last in the Big 12 last year?
No.
Arizona State. They were first.
College football playoff.
Yeah.
You never know. You know, you can sit here and we can make all these predictions, and based on returners, based on the transfer portal. Listen, it's a new every year is a new year, and especially with the roster turnover all the time. We don't know half these teams how they're going to perform. You got guys, you got to get that chemistry built up, and you got, injuries, and a guy who wasn't a starter becomes a starter, and my gosh, how come he wasn't a starter last year?
Yes.
Because he's killing it. We don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be fun. I love it though, man.
Jacob, I want to throw it to you for a second. I know you've got some Georgia stuff that we talked about during the break. Listen, Kirby Smart, the guy, we got to come up with some nicknames, some good nicknames for Kirby, because he's the puppet master, man. They're in the mix every single year. I know we've got a little split here at the station. We got a lot of Georgia fans listening. We got a lot of volunteer fans listening. Last week gave a lot of love to Josh Heupel. Tough situation. He's been dealing with some tough stuff. But can we just love on Kirby Smart for just a minute?
Yeah, I mean, great coach. It's exciting that camp is starting. The players always laugh when the new guys come in because they ask what to expect, and they just say, you're just going to have to see. And, he's already on the mic, so Kirby has a microphone that he carries around practice. It's like he has eyes in the back of his head. I've been to these practices. I've got to sit on the field and watch 2 or 3 live practices. They've got guys in the indoor. They've got guys on both fields rotating and moving constantly for 2 hours, and Kirby doesn't miss a second of it. And so yesterday it was funny. They've got the Illinois transfer running back that came in, and Kirby Smart, he makes it a deal to get on you. If he thinks that you have potential, if he thinks that you're going to be a player, like, he is going to publicly get on you. And the first thing he says, "This ain't Illinois anymore. Get that helmet on." Like, he starts yelling, and then I'll never forget last year I went down to a practice, and Dylan Bell, dude, he rode Dylan Bell the entire practice. He said, "If you got talent, I guess you just don't have to practice here at Georgia. If you're the most talented guy on the field, you must not have to put any effort in." He's relentless, and I'm censoring.
Gives off some Will Muschamp vibes, by the way. Much better coach than Will Muschamp. Much better coach.
He had anger issues.
He did.
I'm censoring. Now here's the thing. Will Muschamp is a great defensive. We're gonna miss him as a defensive analyst. He's stepping away from coaching to kind of spend some time with family. But yeah, and I'll be honest, I personally think a lot of coaches act like that. The TV just caught him a lot, and
it sure did.
And once it happened, they knew that they were going to get more of it. Because if you watch Kirby, his visor starts sliding around, and he looks like his head's about to explode when they were up 63-0 against Florida State. So he's a great coach. He demands excellence. You can see it all the way down to what they do on the practice field.
Hey, personnel-wise, real quick, I got one question for you. Who offensively speaking, and we'll dive deeper as we get closer to the season, who are the dudes for Georgia this year?
Yeah, Zachariah Branch transferring from USC is going to be a huge guy in the slot for us. You've got Noah Thomas coming in from Texas A&M. Both guys were big production guys for their teams. Oscar Delp's coming back. The name to watch, I think you're going to see, is Nate Frazier take a step in year 2 as the running back. He's a sophomore from Compton, California. Had to be the load back basically last year with Etienne hurt as much as he was.
So my next question is, are we catching balls this year or are we dropping them?
I think you're going to see a lot more balls caught just because. And another thing, you get Colby Young back. A lot of people forget about this. He had some deals where girlfriend accused him of something. All of the stuff was dropped. He came back to the team. You now have the possibility to go 6'5", 6'6" on the outside with 2 wide receivers. So you're going to have a lot of length there, a lot of speed there. I've been quoting, I heard this and I stole it from somebody. I don't really need Gunnar Stockton to be an elite level quarterback. I need him to be John Stockton. I need him to get the ball into players' hands and to be an elite, spreader of the ball.
It's so funny. You see all these preseason polls. We got the magazines and everything. Georgia is 3rd, 4th in everyone's predictions. Kirby's going to use that as motivation. He goes, boys, Texas is better than us. Just look at this. Look at this. We got Alabama's ahead of us.
Bulletin board, man.
LSU's ahead of us. He's going to name off all these teams that are predicted to beat him to motivate his team. He's doing it.
It's 100% bulletin board material, and he is. As a Notre Dame fan, I really put him and Marcus Freeman in the same category as being excellent motivators because, man, they're so tactful, and they're both guys that show up and kind of put in the work. Like, as Jacob said, he was down there at practice, and Kirby was a part of every position group. I've seen videos myself, haven't been able to see it in person, but he's a guy that you talk about attention to detail. Kirby Smart is a detail-oriented coach, and I think you can't ever count the dogs out. You can't ever count them out. And listen, Phil Steele's not. He's got them winning the SEC again.
Yeah. So I think Georgia's going to be in the hunt all year. Listen, their roster doesn't take a backseat to anybody in the country. They just don't. They recruit too well, and they have not had any. Listen, the big thing about them is. It's like everyone. It's keeping your important guys healthy. You can't, lose your starting quarterback, and expect the next guy to come in and perform without all the reps and everything. So it's so important to stay healthy.
Yeah, and that's what he kind of said in the opening press conference on Monday. This is the healthiest his offense has been in 5 years. In the past 5 years, they've guys are coming into camp healthy. Something that you said that I want to touch on is he's just an elite motivator. He knows how to get the best out of players. He convinced a national championship team that people thought they were going 7-5. Nobody in their right mind thought Georgia, but like the whole locker room believed like that they were going 7-5. He comes up with things like, around here we eat off the floor. Like we're so hungry we eat off the floor. The passion, the fire, the energy. Like he does so great with the mental side.
He forces it into the DNA of that team.
Yeah. And so, that's to me, and give credit where credit's due, he learned from the greatest guy to ever do it.
Us against the world mentality. Yes. That's right.
And so to shift over, talking Georgia Bulldogs, let's shift back over to the Tennessee Volunteers. We've said it plenty on this show. Josh Heupel, one of the most underappreciated coaches in all of college football, in my opinion. He's getting some love from some people, but he's been dealing with a lot here lately. And you've got some question marks with the Boot Carter situation. It looks like things are kind of on the mend there, which there's going to be a period of healing and a period of proving yourself for Boot Carter. Mm-hmm. But that guy being a part of that that roster is extremely important. But one guy I want to talk about, and Jacob can kind of jump in on this with me, is Deshaun Bishop. This guy, you're running back at Tennessee. I'm presuming this is going to be RB1 on your roster. Deshaun Bishop.
Got big shoes to fill from Dylan Sampson from last year for sure.
You do. But Deshaun Bishop is a guy. Jacob and I had an opportunity to watch him play at Carnes High School.
Okay.
And he would go from running back to wildcat quarterback, taking direct snaps, and the young man would get 40 carries a game. It was insane the way they used him. He's lucky he stayed healthy as much as they had him carrying the ball at Carnes High School up there in Knoxville. A little mismanagement, too, in my opinion. They could have got a little bit creative and used him a little bit more of a decoy instead of just giving him the ball every single play.
I genuinely think in that game there was one play where he didn't touch the football on offense. Right? He touched the ball on every single play, and then he even played on the defensive side of the ball as well. Cool story about him. He had a full ride to go, I think, to Charlotte.
Coastal Carolina.
That's right.
And he turned it down to be a walk-on at the University of Tennessee, and he got hurt. And he said him having to walk through that process for the mental side of his game was the most important thing that ever happened to him. He said he would do it again. And now, he's a full ride scholarship guy at the University of Tennessee and is poised to be the #1 quarterback in Knoxville. And it's really cool to watch his story develop, especially coming off the season where you had a running back that just lit up the entire SEC.
Yeah, last season he had. We're speaking of Deshaun Bishop, who I think is going to have a breakout season for the Tennessee Volunteers this year. Last year, 74 carries, 455 yards, 3 touchdowns, average 6 yards per carry. Listen, not a very big guy. He's 5'10". He's put on a little weight, 208, but it's going to take more than one guy to bring him down because he is so elusive and so sure-footed. He's going to fight for that extra yard, and usually it turns an extra 2 or 3 yards, just the way he plays the game every single snap. That's one thing he learned at Carnes High School is he's going to have to fight for every single inch, and he's going to do a great job, I think, this year.
Well, and on top of all that, we've got Josh Heupel's doing a great job on the recruiting trail right now. Tennessee, in the last couple of days, have signed 2 guys that are top 300 from the ESPN 300. We got Salsi Moa, the number 35 player in the ESPN 300, who committed to Tennessee yesterday. So they're doing it good on the field. They're doing it good on the recruiting trail. Things are bright in Knoxville if you look at everything going on.
I think they'll have a top 10 class, and quite honestly, they're in the realm of possibility of having a top 5 class. And there's some guys out there, 5-star wide receiver that's committed to LSU right now that is kind of flirting with the idea of coming down.
Guy is. He was the number. He's number 35 recruit, and he is a wide receiver. So they got him. If they get this guy, you got 2 of them. Hello.
Yeah, and so they've got things rolling. And one thing that I want to give Josh Heupel credit on is I think leadership in the locker room starts with the players. He has to foster it, but it starts with the players and him leaning on that leadership council to handle all the stuff that's going on, saying we don't want the kind of crap that went on in the locker room last year.
Player accountability.
It's important. And, being at practices, at a Georgia practice, I watched firsthand players keeping each other accountable, and you've got to have it, and it sounds like they've got it up there in Knoxville.
Yeah, so next week we're going to dive in a little bit more on Tennessee's quarterback situation. While we've got our last couple of minutes here, I want to transition over to the NFL. There's some stuff we planned on talking about. We got carried away with college football. Surprise, surprise.
Shocker.
So listen, Will Levis, season's over, having surgery, shared an image with you guys off air. Listen, he's dealing with a legitimate issue, and he felt like he had to post that to social media. So this is Cam Ward's Tennessee Titans team at this point, and Cam Ward had some interesting comments earlier this week.
Yeah, so interesting backstory on him. When the Titans drafted him, the one critique they had of him is he knew the game of football, but he didn't really know how to express it. He didn't know how to say it. He knew where to go with the football, but he didn't know why he was supposed to go with the football there. So during the offseason, he has showed up every day.
That sounds like me in English class, by the way. Continue.
Yeah. He has showed up every day at 5 a.m. and basically leading a film session with the rookie offensive guys in the room.
That's great.
And one of the quotes that he had, you've got a blue collar mindseted quarterback in Nashville right now, and I love it. He said, "I grew up watching my dad wake up at 4:30 for a job he didn't like. So if I can't wake up early and work hard at a job I do like, I shouldn't be playing football."
That's a good mentality right there. It sounds like a leader, man.
Bring your lunch type mentality.
I love it. It sounds like they've got a leader up there. And here's the thing, Titans fans. it may not be the best year in the world for the Titans. They're still trying to get some offensive weapons. Speaking of offensive weapons, there's a guy out on the West Coast that's demanding a trade. That could be a likely matchup for Tennessee to try to trade to get him. Terry
McLaurin with Washington Commanders.
Yeah,
he's on the East Coast.
Sorry, East Coast.
Yeah.
Washington.
One of those Washingtons.
One of the Washingtons.
It's the DC.
He's requesting a trade, and that's
Micah Parsons also
a likely suitor. Micah Parsons, I think, had spent the offseason with some Falcons players, Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. Did some vacation with them. I know.
Starting a rumor there.
I'm just saying. I know there's some ties there. Also, my Raiders potentially are in the mix for matching him up with Max Crosby on the other end.
That'd be dangerous, right?
It would be very so. A lot of stuff is going on in the NFL. The Micah Parsons thing though is the most interesting to me, just because in Jerry's world it seems like there's always an issue.
Yep.
And if you're a Dallas fan, God bless you guys. Think about Dallas in the past 6 months. You trade away Luka with the Mavericks. I know
they did get the number one. They got Cooper Flag.
Still,
okay,
though.
so
we talking NBA now? Come on, guys.
Still,
transition to the NBA.
Still, though, you got that, and then you've got Jerry that's going to probably end up losing a Pro Bowler. I mean,
I have a feeling they'll work this out. Michael Parsons will be a Dallas Cowboy. If they were to let this guy walk, he'd be vilified.
Yes.
I'm talking about Jerry Jones would be vilified by the entire Metroplex.
Could you imagine? And I know they're not going to trade him to the Eagles.
Hey, real quick, before you continue that thought, it's 6 o'clock. You're listening to ESPN Cleveland 101.3 on WCLE. Go ahead.
But they'll never trade him to the Eagles. But could you imagine a world where he was an Eagle?
Oh, God.
Playing against
with those guys,
but playing against the Cowboys and just the hatred that they have for each other.
Could you imagine a guy like a Micah Parsons with that many great weapons around you? I mean, you couldn't double team him. He'd be one-on-one more often than not, and he's going to win those battles literally 95% of the time.
Well, and that's honestly why I hope the Raiders get him. Who do you guard? Do you guard Max or do you guard Micah Parsons? Like you've got the two.
That's an offensive coordinator's nightmare.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yeah, and I'm just saying the Raiders have cap space.
Hey, it was also announced today, transitioning back to some Major League Baseball, Wrigley Field is going to host, and the Chicago Cubs are going to host the 2027 All-Star Game. So, of course, next year the All-Star Game will be at Philadelphia's Citizens Bank Park. But 2027, Wrigley Field, man, talk about a great opportunity to go see a historic All-Star Game. Wrigley Field, none much better.
You know what bothers me, and I know I'm old school, y'all, but like this year it was Atlanta. Next year's Philadelphia. The year after that it's going to be Chicago's Wrigley Field. That's National League, National League, National League. It used to be an All-Star game was an American League park, then National League, American League, National League, American League, National League. You alternated between leagues, and now the All-Star game is just haphazardly just thrown around. It could be like this will be like the third consecutive year a National League park will host it in 2027 in Chicago, which I don't know about y'all, but I liked it when it was alternating between the American League and National League. Maybe I'm just showing my age, but that just seems weird to see 3 consecutive All-Star games played in National League parks.
Yeah, it is odd. I mean, you think you kind of spread the love out between the fans and kind of go back and forth. And it also, to me, when the game mattered about who was getting to be the home team
that was ridiculous all the way.
I agree.
Yeah, but still,
that makes more sense why you're going back and forth. I don't know. I've never really thought about it. I'm not going to say that I have an opinion on it.
It's just one of those things. It was always like that, and I hate this. Well, that's the way we've always done it. Well, some things you got to evolve, but I don't get why can't you have it in alternating leagues parks? I mean, American League, National League, American League, National League, but they don't do it like that anymore.
There's a lot that goes into it as far as they want to make sure that the All-Star Game is an elite experience. So you're seeing all these new stadiums get to host it. The way that the track record is kind of trending.
It's brand new, isn't it?
Well, you got to keep in mind
1916.
They just did a huge renovation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just a few years ago. So the historic aspect is a big part of it. Going back to Boston in 1999,
that was awesome.
Having those historic venues, Yankee Stadium, the original Yankee Stadium, like those are unique in themselves because they're historic venues. But one reason that Atlanta didn't have a shot at it for many years, since the year 2000 when they had it last was
Turner Field?
because you're at Turner Field and there's just not a lot to offer there.
Yeah.
So once you get the new ballpark, your name's thrown in the hat. Obviously, Dodger Stadium, historic venue. But we're starting to see all these new stadiums get factored in. There's not going to be enough new stadiums within the next 20 years. You're going to see the All-Star Game back at Truist Park again at some point.
Yep.
Going back to the NFL, I know there's been rumblings of this, but it sounds like the deal is becoming more finalized. ESPN is acquiring NFL Red Zone and
NFL,
the NFL Network, so that's big news. It's supposed to be worth billions of dollars, is what I
and the NFL's going to have a little ownership in ESPN.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? I mean, ESPN is absorbing the NFL Network, but the NFL, the actual NFL, is going to have like 5% ownership in ESPN. How cool is that?
That is going to be that's a unique relationship.
Big time. You know, Disney is giving up 5% of their, I guess what they own. But the National Football League, listen, if you're going to have any professional sports league and you want to be aligned with, the NFL is the one sports league in the entire world that you want to be a part of. The NFL, they literally print money. That's how successful they are.
Yeah, so some more breaking news in the NFL. It looks like the D.C. Council approves Commanders' stadium deal for a return to the district. So the Washington Commanders are going home. It makes you wonder, is a potential name change in the mix? We've heard a lot of rumblings, obviously, from the president, from the native tribes in the D.C. area, that they want to go back to the Redskins. And it sounds like, I'm just kind of reading some comments and some things on here, sounds like with that move back into the D.C. district, there might be, is that like a double negative D.C. district that I just said?
It is.
Yeah.
It's calling the SEC conference.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you know
exactly.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, can I defend myself for a minute here? Since I made the Vol Nation comment, I have heard that used in commercials. I've heard other people. So, listen, I know Big Orange Country exists. That's the thing. But Vol Nation is a thing as well.
Vol Nation's been around for longer than you've been alive.
But remember, the reason I'm bringing this up, I said Vol Nation last week, and I was corrected by several people. It's Big Orange Country, not Vol Nation.
Vol Nation's real. People have said that. That's
so
been around
I'm
forever.
defending myself. I threw that out there, and I was like, wait, is Vol Nation a thing? Do you remember that?
Vol Nation's a thing. Big Orange Country's a thing.
Big Orange
Tennessee's got a lot of things that go around with the program.
So I threw that out there, and I kind of questioned myself. Reinforcement, a lot of people use the term. So I'm just saying that. But, you know, talking all over.
Let me pat him.
That's it. I had to correct it on air. But I can't even remember who we were talking to.
You're talking about D.C. District.
Yeah, D.C. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I take full responsibility.
They're going to build that stadium on the old site of RFK Stadium, which is currently being torn down. And I don't know if y'all know this, but to build a facility in the district, there's a certain height you cannot be above. By the way, nothing can be taller than the Washington Monument in the entire District of Columbia. But that's in line with the mall, the Capitol. So there's a certain architectural footprint that they're going to have to do a little differently to build a stadium there. That's just the reality of having a football stadium that close to the Capitol and the White House and all that good stuff.
Hey, also some breaking news. The Yankees released right-handed pitcher Marcus Stroman. All I'm saying, pay attention, Braves fans. Might be getting added to a roster if you can't find him a home. Obviously needing some pitching help right now. Listen, went a little overtime today. I threw in that station ID just on the fly. Proud of myself for that since we're patting ourselves on the back today, Big Money Mason, right?
Lord, get out of here.
Teacher of the Year last year, by the way.
There you go.
In case you didn't know. He genuinely, he was Teacher of the Year. We're proud of him. Glad to have him as a part of our ESPN Cleveland family. Got to give him a hand.
Hey, Steve.
I'm holding my phone so I can't.
When Steve called my name across the intercom or whatever, he said ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Yeah, that's what
Of course he did.
Great promo right there.
Good little plug.
I love it.
Hey, listen, it's been a week. Ups and downs for the Braves. Speedway Classic.
Oh, you keep on doing this. I've already started the music, but here we go. You know, I will pause it.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
There we go.
Have fun tomorrow, Andy.
Coming up tomorrow, I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. You know why it's going to be a good time?
Because it's sport.
Because the Morris boys are coming to Bristol, baby.
There you go.
Have a great week, everybody.
It's time for a Don Ledford of Cleveland traffic update on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Don Ledford Chevrolet Buick GMC, located on North Lee Highway in Cleveland, or visit